Yo guys, Master Markout here, and welcome back to another episode of Terraria, here to show you yet another Easter egg seed. Now, before we had the launch seed, which was basically a crazy world with new crazy items, and one of the specific items you can only get on that world, the Moon Lord leggings, as well as some immense spawn rates of different trees and living wood trees that you can find. But besides that, there's also another world. Now, this world is supposed to be, well, I think you'll find it for yourself. Now, I'm just gonna make a large version random and make it a journey world, and you'll be able to see the seed is not the bees. Create. Oh my god, it already starts off with generating bees. Oh god, it is just generating bees. That's not good when it just says generating bees and nothing else. Finally, now we have the remotes of falsehood, also known as not the bees. Now we start off with the merchant, which is pretty nice to have some of the stuff here for you. But unlike usual, the world is covered in what seems to be a lot of honey. Ooh, frog. And what also seems to immediately start you off in just a big old jungle biome. And while that's great for some people who need it, imagine the entire world just being jungle biome. Now, what's worse than that is that you can see some of the ores around the entire place have just been replaced instead with honey blocks. The entire ground is all honey. Just honey. And it's so much worse than that as time goes on, as you'll see. Now for every Minecraft player's worst nightmare, time to dig straight down. We've already run into our first hive, which is, well, I guess not that surprising when everything is just bees. And while this is both great and horrible, that you just have honey blocks everywhere, this is going to be the worst thing when you're actually trying to mine into this world. And I can't imagine how many queen bees might spawn because of it. That has to be an incredibly high amount. I'm going to turn the difficulty mode to just normal for now, and God knows what else is going to happen. And I'll put myself on God mode just so I don't get hurt. Ah, finally, we've reached our first clearing, though maybe not the best clearing so far that we've run into. Now, with this world, everything is just almost all jungle biome, except for the few required ones. There are still some ores every now and again. There are even a lot of blocks, but it appears that almost every single liquid in this entire map has been replaced solely with honey blocks. In fact, even the ocean itself is honey. As you can see as you look around, you notice more and more that all just honey blocks and hive blocks are everywhere. In fact, honey can't technically be generated in blocks anymore because you can't get any water anywhere. So you're not going to find combinations of honey and hive. No, you're just going to find only honey blocks. Now this goes on for quite a long while, but I am going to try and go as far as I can through all the honey and show you what the ocean looks like. In fact, even all of the living wood trees that you normally find in the world are now replaced with the mahogany versions, because all jungle biomes. You even get a queen bee right on the surface of your world. Now, while she won't really do much of anything anyways, because, you know, we seem to be in a higher plane of existence than I think she can understand. The entire world is like this. So you will find spawners for the queen bee everywhere. We even have ourselves a crimson biome over here, so we know the world is crimson. In fact, even the desert, while still here, underneath is still entirely surrounded with honey. You can even see here, giant hive mountains have been found all over this entire map. The whole map itself is a crazy, crazy combination of just what it would look like if you had tons and tons of bees. And while this world does seem like an absolute nightmare to have to finish, just a nightmare to have to dig through to get to places like hell and whatnot, being constantly surrounded by bees, honey, the whole world is just one massive hive. Even some of the pre-generated caves are entirely just hive blocks. There is a lot of hive and purely just hive almost everywhere. Before we were in jungle biomes, any non-forest biome is almost entirely all hive block. Snow biome, I'm pretty sure this is normally going to be a snow biome, is a hive block. Everywhere you find queen bees lying around in their shells, in their cocoons, and just giant, massive open areas of just bees. Only bees. Imagine this. Just, you all know of the murder hornets and everything that's going on. Imagine you had, this is what the world might look like while we're all inside as the murder hornets take over. Because this is just an absolute nightmare. I'm still trying to detect where a chest is. It seems to be the nearest thing, and I just want to see what some of the things inside of it might be. What's most surprising, though, is so far I haven't already found any actual bee-themed items. As you can see underneath here, even in the Crimson, there seems to be a lot of hive blocks pre-generated everywhere. So it seems that with the actual hives going down like this, with so much open space, imagine having a bee boss fight here all the time. I mean, look at this. It's just miles and miles of just hive. I mean, it is not like just hive, it is only hive. Wow. I mean, just look at this place. It's all just so much hive, so much honey. It's got to be a nightmare to settle all of these liquids constantly. So many bee-generated structures have been entirely replaced with hive. How could you even do that? Imagine coding this process in. That's just like, alright, all blocks that are non-essential and non-ores, hive. Except for count them, 2 jungle biomes that are found throughout the world. All liquids, entirely replaced with honey instead. Wow, even the merchant was slain because we took too long fighting the bees, I believe? I think we're getting lower now to a point where I think they've actually generated a mushroom biome. Though it's impossible to see because of how everything is going on right now. In fact, we've even gotten jungle torches. In fact, we have crispy honey blocks. And I think that's purely because we've gotten so far down. And everything is surrounded by lava so much that they all just turn crispy. I'm not even sure what biome we are in anymore. Though, not like it matters much since it's all just bees. Surprisingly, lava actually still seems to be here. But I think that's purely because it's a pre-generated structure. There we go. Surprisingly, that took all that time just to make it into hell. Now, hell itself is a whole nother beast. It doesn't seem to have as many actual hive blocks, which is one good thing, but it's still littered with spawns for queen bees. Oh my god, look at just all these bees! Dang it, too many have spawned now! There's just all too many bees! I was trying to get rid of all of them because as I was walking, more and more just seem to keep spawning. But now I just can't get rid of them. They're just all here. Oh my god. Even the entirety of the dungeon seems to be beeified. In fact, since we have God mode, let's actually check out what the dungeon looks like now with bees. Apparently the bees are also joining us for the dungeon trip, which is going to be just fun. Oh god, there are bees in the dungeon. Oh god, there are bee spawns in the dungeon. It's just all bees! It's like, it normally can spawn this color, but I believe they might have changed it so that specifically is this color. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god, what is this? What is this? Ugh! All the sand has been replaced with honey instead? Oh, that's so much worse. Is there still an actual chest? I can't see. I physically cannot see. Is there a chest here? I can't even tell if there's a chest here. It's so much honey! It's all honey blocks! This entire sand has been replaced with just honey blocks. And everything down there is just honey, so you can't even see. The lip that's underneath New Ocean Biome now, not even there anymore. It's gone. I don't think there's a chest underneath there, but if there is, I don't think I could find it if I wanted to. Oh, I could hear myself speak finally. Oh. Well, quickly before the bees come back. Well, that was an interesting world spawn, to say the least. I think it would be a really cool challenge to actually see someone try and speedrun that world. Just all hives, avoiding so many bees. It'd be a lot easier to get actually into hard mode, because with how the hives spawn, it makes huge world gaps. So you could get to hell in about 5 minutes if you really want to, if you have higher than a gold pickaxe. Well, as high as a gold pickaxe. So, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe down below. And hope to see you next time with more Terraria, and maybe more bees. Peace.